For the record, sir.
Bob Kalabowski, mind if I stand? All right, first off, before we start my time, Bob Kalabowski, 41 Frederick Street. Once again, I'm going to ask counsel. Hold up, I'm asking, are you just going to give me an answer what I've been asking? Yeah, but this is unfair. Are you going to give me an answer on what I asked before? Bill?
Mr. Kalabowski, you can't pull individual members of council. You have to address council as a body.
Well, you're all clowns.
It's your 5 minutes, sir.
Okay, I want to ask you, is anybody going to, when I'm finished speaking here, Mr. Barrett, Mr. Brown, Mr. Merritt, Mr. George, Mr. LaBelle, are any of you people going to address my concerns? It's not me. I'm getting no profit out of this. It's the citizens that are getting robbed with this towing ripoff. I'd just like to tell you what happened last Friday. I received a call to tow a car at LAG Towing. And I said to the man, where do you want to get towed to? Palmerbeck Cemetery. How much from there from Cary up there? I told him $55. I said to him, well, how much is your bill? When was it towed in? It was towed in on last week. It was there 6 days. It was towed on a Saturday. He was going to pick up the next Friday. $950. $950. $950. When they found out I was involved, I was sitting around the corner mysteriously, the bill went to $650. What's wrong here? And I can't believe you, Bill, as a former law enforcement official, and you, Tony, former chief of police, and you were there when I told them I would never give the city a kickback. You two people, especially with your backgrounds, are not going over to that police station and finding out why. And you have Jerry DeSoy giving statements in the paper. I don't care what he makes. It's not my concern. And he's the one that administers it. And I can't believe that you people are just sitting here doing nothing about it. As far as I'm concerned, Mrs. Well, you, Mr. Merritt, and you, Mr. Brown, you're not more than pigs for taking that buyout. Why you squeal like pigs? Wee! Wee! Come on, piggies! Wee! No, I'm not. I'm expressing my desire to my frustration here. Why are they taking $200? We can't afford it. I just paid $1,100 in taxes and $300 some taxes on another thing, and these pigs are taking it, and you're one of them, and you're the big hog that got caught that's decided to back off it. Now, another thing I'm here about, Mr. Henry, or Attorney Henry, and members of the council. I put an open records request in, did it professionally, and asked for receipts from LAG. They gave 30 extra days. Got a letter from Mr. Ryan from LAG telling them they don't have to give us the records. And the city attorney's office knows that their argument is wrong. And I don't blame Mr. Henry as much as I blame Mr. Vinsco, the nitwit, for allowing this to go on. The records are public. And this city's doing everything possible to protect this operation down there. And I don't insist that Leo Galazik's doing nothing wrong. It's the thief mayor, it's the chief of police, and the captain who was in business with him getting cars on consignment. They're the people that are allowing this to go on. And I know I talk loud and I get frustrated. But how could you people sit there and allow this to go on? Especially you, Mr. Barrett. You put the towing ordinance into effect that basically put me out of business, and while you're cracking down almost $200,000 a year with your pensions and benefits. Hold it, this might.
Mr. Kalabowski, that's not city business.
It is. He's making over $200,000 a year. It is city business. I'm trying to use a scale here.
It's not city business.
Well, in my opinion, it is. Okay, but we'll make the difference.
Everybody else is.
All right, well, you're interrupting me. Stop it.
You got a minute and a half.
Well, I'm going to use it. And Bill, especially you. Not everybody makes the money you make.
Mr. Kalabowski, address council's body, not individual.
But you're a bunch of clowns. You're not going to answer me anyway, so I might as well get the best out of what I'm doing here. You're nothing more than a political pig. Wee! Wee! Come on, piggy, squeal! Wee!
Mr. Kalabowski, you're being
No, I'm not. I'm calling you a pig. And that's what you are, and the taxpayers know you're a pig. And so is he, and so is she. And other than that, you're probably nice people. You're just pigs. Now, Mr. Barrett, why don't you tell me...
Mr. Kalabowski, speak to council as a whole.
All right, whole council. Mr. Barrett, why don't you tell the new members what you did when you put...
Mr. Kalabowski.
But I haven't, he did something, I'm trying, you keep interrupting me, I want additional time. Mr. Barrett penned an ordinance that basically put me out of business. And members of council, hold. What they did was in 1987, I was charging $75. It was 2010 when they tried to cut my price by $50.
30 seconds, sir.
Win! Win! Come on, piggy, squeal! Win! Win! Come on, piggy, squeal! Win! Win! Come on now, squeal like a pig, piggies! Win! Come on now, piggies! Win! Win! Come on now, piggies! Okay, I can get a drink. Well, let me get a drink. She denied me a drink. You can't be doing this. My right to talk.
Betsy Summers.
Nothing but a bunch of pigs.
I've heard a lot of complaint about Wilkes-Barre.
Am I getting escorted out of the building?
I'm here.
Let the record show that I'm being thrown out again illegally. Get your hand off me. Don't touch me. I'm sick of this brutality.
Name and address for the record.
Besty Summers, 47 South Wells Street.
Go ahead.
Okay, a couple meetings ago, I came in and gave you all packages on the landlord ordinance, and I still have not heard about anything about me being able to go in front of the hearing board about the $1,000 fine that was levied against me. At that time, I offered my services to form a group to reevaluate the landlord ordinance. And I was wondering if council had a chance to review that, and I still believe that I should be able to have a hearing without a $100 non-refundable fee, even though the mayor said that's the way it's always been done. As far as I know, if it isn't in writing and hasn't been voted on by council, then you can't just make these things up. You either have to come up with and have it within the ordinance, or as a rule that council votes on to have a $100 non-refundable fee. So I just wanted to remind you, I really would like to have a hearing, and was wondering if council had a chance to review the information that I brought in.
We did have a chance to review it. Tim, do you want to comment on that?
I'm sorry, this is
Betsy Summers is wondering about the $100 fee, that if you lose, that if you, it should be refundable.
That's that ordinance is going on first reading tonight. Yeah, it is. Which one is it? 4?
That's the first one.
Oh, no, number 3. It's a first reading. The revision is going to be that if a person who is cited, such as yourself, is found not guilty or not liable on the civil penalty, that $100 would be returned to that person. So that rule will be changed, where in past cases, if an appellant such as yourself won, they wouldn't get their money back. That fee was applied to administrative expenses related to convening the board and paying overtime for inspectors to come testify at the hearing. But now, council is going to amend that rule, whereby if an appellant is victorious and they don't have to pay a fine on the citation, they will receive that $100 back or be completely refunded.
Okay. Is that, do you have that new ordinance?
It's on title only, so we only have the title only version. The text will be put together next week, actually. If you want to call me once it's put together, I'll absolutely get you a copy of it.
Okay, great.
Okay?
So, since I was cited in December, will I have the opportunity to have a hearing? Yeah, because when I filed the paperwork,
Well, you haven't had your hearing yet.
Well, no, I filed the paperwork within the 10 days that's required, but I didn't submit the $100 non-refundable fee. So then if I submit my $100 refundable, possibly refundable fee, will I be able to have my hearing then?
I'm not sure I'm understanding the question, but I can tell you this. if your hearing's held after the second reading of this ordinance, and you prevail at your hearing, you would get your money back, yes. Okay?
So hold up $700.
Excuse me?
So hold up on $700 until we read it 2 times.
Thank you very much, and thank you for reviewing the ordinance. I still think that there's a lot of changes that need to be made to it, because portions of it, as I said, I felt were unconstitutional. And like I said, my services are still available, and there's people who I worked with on the Ethics Commission who have also shown an interest in volunteering their time to look at these things also. That's it.
Mayor,
Thank
can
you.
I make one comment on that? As we all recall, Mrs. Summers came in with that specific concern about the refundable fee. We did do considerable research on it based on what we brought before. And this is an example of you taking the time to come before us, raise an issue, validate your issue, show your concerns, counsel listen. The city attorney's office is working on the actual language, but it will be pretty much what he had just said. And it works. So this is the way the process is supposed to work. So we appreciate you taking it to bring it to our attention, and get that taken care of.
And I appreciate you listening. Thank you very much.